to the PiP, and today is a guest episode. But as always, I am Jacob, and I am here with my good friend Khalid.
How's it going?
And today we have Josh back on with us.
Hey, it's me again.
Hi guys. But
Hey.
yeah. Does anyone have any topics to start off with?
You can start off. The topic. Oh no, my battery.
Hmm. Well, Josh, I
Hello.
heard you've been playing House Flipper.
Yeah, of course, because I just told you.
Can you tell me why you like it so much?
uh, I guess part of the reason why I like it so much is because, um, it's a really relaxing atmosphere. Uh, just the music with it as well. The music's really chill and everything. But also B, um, as a child, my mother would clean houses as like a side thing before she started doing like going into the school system. So I would actually travel with her quite a bit, and I would bring my little Game Boy, and I would play my Game Boy while she cleaned, and I would oftentimes have to find a wall outlet so I could charge because we would be there for a long time. But she did a lot of renovations and stuff like that. And that goes into another thing. By the time I was 7, we moved around to 8 different houses. So there was a lot of me just going constantly to different houses, and my mother and dad just renovating them and then selling them, basically flipping almost. Um, Usually I wouldn't call them flippers because it wasn't like they were um taking a house to flip it to make profit. It was just they would get bored, if that makes sense, really easily. Um, so I never lived in like one house for a while. It was usually for about a year or so that I lived in a house. But when we finally got into a house that we lived for a while, we did a lot of renovations. Like there was a screened in back porch that we turned into a master bathroom slash walk-in closet. There was an another room that we refurbished and constantly just painting and moving furniture around every few years. So it
Hmm.
just kind of scratches that itch, I guess you can say.
So so with House Lister, other than the obvious of what it is, what are you doing in this game?
So obviously, house flipping. So you buy. So the for those of you who don't know what house flipping is, the point of house flipping is you take a house that's pretty crappy. So you obviously you're going to pay for a less price, and you put a certain amount of money into it. You want to put as low as amount of money as you can while still making the house look nice, and then basically try to sell it for higher than the combined total of the amount of money you put in and the amount of money you paid for the house.
Hmm.
Um, it's still very profitable. In fact, um, it caused a depression in the 2000s, right? The house bubble uh, burst because there was a lot of flipping. I want to say in the mid 2000s,
Yes,
but
so about near 2008 to 10, something like that.
yeah, that was late 2000s. The house bubble burst and actually put us in a little depression. Um, but also besides that, in this game, you have missions to take to basically increase your money. So it's like, hey, like we just threw this massive rager at my at this house. Can you come clean it for us? And like you go in and there's trash everywhere. There's like cockroaches and you have to clean it all up. And then they'll pay you, money. There's also a DLC that I got as well that introduces like landscaping, gardening into, and I actually kind of found like a little joy doing that myself, working just with landscaping as a side job, and then helping my dad with a lot of the landscaping and stuff at our house.
Because you used to actually do
Yeah,
landscaping.
did. Um and well, a lot of it was just selling plants, and because I worked at the nursery for the most part. I had to get familiar with a few plants. I know, not familiar with a lot of plants. There's certain plants I guess you say I know more about than others. Still basic, but I'd say I know a little bit to like decorate. I would say most def. And then I one of the things and then every so often I would actually be on the landscaping team itself, but that was if they were down a man or someone calls out sick or decided to like not show up to work or anything like that. Um, but one of the things I also love to do was just I love to lay down mulch because like fresh mulch, in my opinion, is one of the best smells
It's a good
to
one.
ever exist.
No, great. It's a really great smell.
Yeah, that's really kind of all you do. There's a lot. I mean, there's like a lot of s- variety. I would say um, to all you can have because you can put up shelves. Literally, there is a that comes with the base game. There is a survival thing, so you can literally one of the things you can hang up in your room is a assault rifle. There's literally a mounted LMG that you can post down. You can't use it, but like you can just have it there for decoration. Because why not, America?
Murder.
Alrighty. So, another question is, out of every game that you've played in 2020, what was your favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough in 2020. That's tough because for me, I played. I for those of you who don't know, 2020, COVID, but during the time, mood, obviously stuff got shut down, and so with the checks and everything, I actually saved up so I can build a gaming PC. So like I haven't played a lot of games before then because I had a very crappy computer. So I've been playing a lot of stuff now. So that being said, one of my favorites, actually, hang on, let me pop up Steam real quick and look through what I have in my library. Cyberpunk, I finally beat that uh last week. I have to say that's because that came out 2020. Yeah, that's honestly been a joy to play. Really like the story, the atmosphere, just traveling around in the city, getting lost. It's a very pretty game if you have the system to, you know, uphold it. No, me and you have talked about this at work, Khaled, but like honestly, don't know why they put it on current gen consoles. Like very weird choice.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Phasmophobia, just a blast to play with friends. I love hearing Noah get scared and making him do that.
It's always fun when Noah gets scared.
Yeah, it really is. It is a joy in and of itself. Um, Divinity Original Sin, I think I played 2020. That was a really good game. I think I played that early this year. Um,
You played it with
and
us, I know that.
yeah, I know I played it with y'all, but I also like had my own playthrough that I was going through by myself. And that goes into Baldur's Gate 3, the alpha. That is the alpha, right? Yeah. That's been really fun to play. I'm just waiting right now. I'm just waiting for updates just to continually happen so that I can come in and it's like, oh, it's basically a whole new game and whatnot. Let's see what else we got in here. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I finally had the chance to play that again. That is such a fun game.
Yes.
It's just all the wackiness of Metal Gear into a hack and slash, and like, it's not made by Konami, the same people who made regular Metal Gear. They actually decided to like license it out to like this third company. And they did an amazing job with it. It's so good.
Well, because think about it, that company is called Platinum. They're the ones that did like Bayonetta. And...
Oh yeah, I've never played Bayonetta because I didn't have a Wii or a Wii U at the time. What was it on Xbox?
Yep, it was on Xbox 360.
I did not know that. I never bought it for a 360. Another game that came out this year that I actually really liked, I played a bit. It's actually called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Where you play as like precursors to humans, so you're like
yes. It is literally it's Return to Monkey the game.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that before.
I mean, it's really cool because you start off as, like you said, the precursors to humanity. And so you literally level up your skills. Like, to begin with, you only have functions with one hand. So, like, you can only pick up with one hand and only use that one hand. And then as you keep doing that, you realize, hey, look, my motor skills have improved. I can use two hands.
Hey, look, I have
another hand. Yeah. And then you can put, like, let's say with that you can have a rock in both hands, and then you're like, I can hit a rock with a rock, and it chips it down.
That reminds me of the My Hero meme. Midoriya found out he has legs when he started to use kicking.
Oh yeah.
That's
it's
funny.
Like, oh, legs are stronger than arms. Who would have known? But yeah, and like, obviously there's predators, so you have to watch out for like snakes and like saber-toothed tigers and stuff like that. So you, the way to you can't really attack anything. You can only intimidate and then defend yourself. So like, if you have a sharpened stick and someone were to like attack you, you could then use said sharpened stick to like stab them and make them hurt. But you can't actively pursue them to attack them,
Oh, so you're not like Chris Hansen.
Yeah, no, you're not like Chris Hansen, but like you have a clan. So I think in the beginning of the game you have around probably 10 people in your clan, and you have to constantly find food for them. So like the place where you start out with, you have like berries and there's a stream, so like if you learn how to fish, you can fish, but like obviously that runs out, so you have to branch out to find like new food sources and everything and try to keep them alive and try to have the next generation survive. It's very interesting. You're not like, it is kind of a bit commitment, so like if you don't want to play it, I highly suggest like checking out some like YouTube or streamers playing it, because I feel most definitely it's kind of a cool game to watch.
It is.
So,
it is.
I did want to say this. So Josh,
yo,
the other day you said Cyberpunk had DLCs coming out.
Yes.
Because I just saw an article saying that they pushed back the DLCs so that they could do fixes, so they could prioritize fixes.
That does not surprise me with
because
Cyberpunk.
apparently they had
They're
all the
delaying.
backlash.
They're delaying the DLCs.
Yeah, I think the community was just like, no, we don't want DLCs. We want a fixed game.
Yeah, because I mean, it's gonna be kind of like just not important to be like, I got DLCs for a game that won't work. So
Agreed.
Yeah, most def. It works for me though. I really haven't had any. I had any issues with it. I lost my train of thought. That's why I said darn it. But yeah,
So,
I've enjoyed it. Like I said,
have you heard of the new D&D book coming out?
I've not. I didn't realize there was one coming out so soon because Tasha was just like announced 2 months ago.
no, it was August. I think we've been hyped since like August with that thing. Well, because wait, it came out August, right?
No,
October.
no. It came
When did it
out
come-
November.
That's
Okay, so it came out November. So we've been
very-
hyped about it before August. Then.
So
Yeah.
this is they're like, all right, time to get hyped for a new one then.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm pretty. Isn't it coming out earlier?
March.
Yeah, it's coming out in March.
Oh,
Okay. It's apparently it's called Candlekeep Mysteries or Candlekeep Manor. Is that what it's called?
Mysteries, you're right.
It's a bunch of smaller adventures.
okay. So
So-
kind of like one shots.
Yes.
Some people refer to it as more Scooby Doo.
Bruh. All right.
It's a collection of 17 short, self-contained adventures for characters of levels 1 to 16.
So you telling me we're gonna have a Scooby Doo adventure pretty soon?
If you get out of quarantine.
Well, I should be out of quarantine by the time that comes out. If I'm not,
Yeah, by March.
there is no hope for me.
You don't know. You don't
By
know.
March.
Yeah,
You
like if
never know.
if I don't get out by March, there is no hope for me. I am dead. Forget about me.
You've created a thing called the Joshua Strand. Like it's
Or
I am
better
patient
yet,
zero.
you're not sick. You're just a soul carrier kind of thing. Like
Oh, I'm one of those.
no matter what, you
it's-
just keep carrying it. Your body develops it even though you're immune.
oh, it's
now.
like Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, or what was that? Is it Cabin Fever or whatever that scary movie was called? Where it's basically the same thing.
I
Isn't
don't-
cabin fever just you staying in the same room?
No,
Yeah, but
there's
there's
a
like a
Out?
horror
There's this
movie.
weird. Yeah, there's this horror movie. There's like 3. I think there's like even 3 movies sitting around like this thing. But like this dude, literally, apparently patient zero. He's not affected, but like if he touches you, like you zombify without the effects of zombifying. If that makes sense. Like your skin starts to fall off and decay, but like your mind doesn't become a zombie. You just like basically like leprosy to Electric Boogaloo.
The enhanced editions.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of fun if if I had like a type of virus, and when all it does was just cause people to have weird dreams. Like that's as weird as or even better yet, it gives people a slight I'm not gonna say hive mind, a shared mind. So if I let's go to D&D, then they connect to my hub world. It's like,
D&D
are we
time.
hallucinating? Kind of, but
So telepathy?
kind of like television telepathy.
But yeah, so they can't respond, they can only hear.
No. So imagine if this Khalidian strain basically connects you to Hat Duck Sign, Sword Art Online. So when I start thinking about a D&D world, people can get transferred to it because they're sharing my thoughts. So it's just these
You
people
ruined it with the Sword Art Online.
well,
Fog
just because-
Horizon.
mean,
There we go.
it's any isekai. Like, there's people who like.
Can I be Subaru from ReZero?
Oh boy, of course you do. Want to find your Amelia, huh?
No,
You're gonna
man.
keep killing me until I figure out how to whoop you.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's anime we're going to talk about later on when that segment comes on.
ReZero.
So, how have you hated not playing D&D for like a few weeks?
I honestly have hated it. Like, I'm going through withdrawals, I feel. It's like, oh, it's Saturday, D&D time, and it's like, no, we're because we have this, blah blah blah. I can't do that, and then unfortunately my father passed away, so I was like, I'm sorry, can't. I'm not gonna be able to attend. So it's just been one, and then it's like, oh, hey, look, now might be sick with the ick. I don't know. So it's just like, man, it's just one misfortune after the other.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, I don't know how it's gonna go. We're gonna FaceTime you.
Yeah,
So,
dude. Because I just want to see what Noah's going to do. I want to see this hill that he has decided to die upon.
No.
How that resolves.
So
Does Khaled know about the hill that Noah has decided to die upon?
I'm pretty sure he does, but I'm gonna say it again anyway for the viewers' context.
Yeah.
So I made a character that makes pseudo undead, but the easiest way to explain it, for those that have seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, all the vessels that come out of like the underground like works that are just like bodies, they're literally just bodies, and then they come to life and they keep moving even if they're cut down like in half, they keep moving. Basically that. But they're more of a golem-esque kind of thing. The way they look and move.
Yeah,
But
and
the guy that made it, the party has an actual necromancer. So the guy, like the NPC that made all these people, is just sort of like, why? He doesn't mean no harm, like him intentionally. He's just like, why are you here? Like, why are you in my place of work, basically?
and
It made the bird mad.
well, it made the bird mad because the bird's mad that he's a better necromancer than him without having to dabble in necromancy at all.
Yeah.
And Noah is absolutely livid, and like he was getting ready to like start a fight with said man when like the people we had to face there was hundreds of them. There was no way we would have been able to win at all, but Noah's like, I'm gonna prove to you you can't do this. You have to do hard work. You have to do hard work. And I'm like, when have you ever cared about hard work?
He
and our
looks
characters
for cheaty ways to do
yeah,
things.
it's like when have you? I'm like, and like when he said that, I'm like, you're just pissed that he's a better necromancer than you without having to do as much work as you do. And he literally looked at me and went, yes. He was like, but I'll be damned if I let him.
It's so funny because I didn't
And I'm
make
like-
that character to spite him or make him mad. He
Yeah,
just
and I'm
chose
like-
to be so angry.
And Rue, my character, is like, this is the hill you die upon. Like you decided. Like out of all the things we've been through, out of all the things we've said and seen, out of all the things the immoral things that we have done, this bird has killed a child with me. This is the hill that he dies upon.
It's kind of fun.
Yes, there we go. I wasn't hearing anyone.
Okay. I was like, who is this? So
You know, saying because it's funny because I'll heard all of you, but it dropped from regular to like from off the speaker. So, is he planning to just kill the necromancer or just try to like one up the necromancer?
He was trying to kill the necromancer at first, but like if we attacked the necromancer, all the things that he created would have attacked us as well. And we're like, look,
And
Noah. Usually we do things like right off the bat. We're very headstrong, but like let's actually might want to think this one through for once.
well, the thing that stopped him wasn't you telling him that. It was him realizing he couldn't use magic inside
Oh
of
yeah,
the
that
circle.
too.
So there's a room that they passed that was just lined in runes, and Noah couldn't use magic inside of it. And so down there at the very center of all of the vessels, there's a circle. And basically, you can't cast magic inside of the circle, and magic, once it goes past the circle, it just breaks. It doesn't work.
Which is the inspiration for creating these monstrosities too, by the way.
Yes. Although the party has not figured out their weaknesses, I will assure them that they're not overpowered. Because I feel like they're like, oh my god, how are we going to do this?
Well, for one, there was a lot of them, so we one-on-one we might be able to find something, but with that many, no. But no, like those monstrosities, there we go, words, can go in those runes and not be affected, to whereas if an undead that the necromancer or necromancer summons, if he were to go into those runes, he would just like drop because he's being magically held together, whereas those things are not.
Noah did find notes though, so
He
if you
did.
can decipher them, and Josh can help. Like his character has a linguist, so he's good at deciphering like different languages and stuff like that. They can do it. Either way, though, Josh, what do you think is gonna occur through the rest of this dungeon thing that you're in?
Dude, I don't know. To be honest, like it is. How much more do we have left in it? Is it that much more?
So, going down into it, where you're at now, you left off at the Lazarus pit,
Yeah.
as we'll call it. The So back up the stairway, there is another tunnel, but way back into the tunnel, just after the doors, there's a crevice that you could enter.
Oh.
That I said, but no one was like, we're gonna
Cared
go in
about.
there. Yep.
Hmm.
So there's deeper in, and then something farther back, kind of thing.
Well, I know there's the Lazarus pit itself that we're going to go to.
Noah's already been down to it.
Okay. Well, I thought only his thing was down to it.
No, he jumped down.
Okay.
And then flew back up.
He has a bone to pick with that Lazarus pit. I'll tell you what.
does. Let me ask you this. What would you look forward to in a crossover part 2?
Oh, Electric Boogaloo.
I don't know if you want it to be electric, seeing what happened with your character Nazir.
That is true.
Electric is the best choice of words.
You see, the best part is that even if Josh's character got mad and was like, I'm gonna lightning you with my spear, it's like I take half of that lightning damage.
Yeah. I'll have to find some other way.
So don't I still have to make the save against the lightning damage, right? I'm pretty sure
Correct.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, if I make the save, is it half of half?
Yes.
Ooh. Do it for funsies.
See how it tingles.
Because that was our issue. That was the thing when we were facing the whatchamacallit, the storm giant, because I think someone had no. Someone's was supposed to take half of half, but then
It was
that
true.
never.
Or no, someone. You all were going to die.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't
then-
because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Noah was going to die. Let's
Noah
get this
and
straight.
Matt or something, but Trey's armor makes him vulnerable
Yeah.
because his armor is.
Oh, that's right.
literally, Picture like a one-man tank.
Mm.
Yeah, but Trey himself, I think, is resistance to lightning, or he had something that made him resistance to lightning.
No,
so
he saved against it.
Okay.
He made the save, but the thing is that he was going to be taking all of the
okay.
lightning because he's basically a lightning rod. So even though he saved, he still took it because he's vulnerable. So that means he took twice the amount. So if it got halved, he took normal amount.
Yes. Okay.
It was basically
been
the
a while.
opposite.
Been a while.
That's the reason why Nazir got thrown by his lower jaw into Kira.
Why?
Because he used lightning on someone who was already resistant to lightning
I didn't know
Oh
that.
no.
and saved against it.
I did not. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a bad A.
Well, I mean, yes, but like because he was a Goliath barbarian as well. So like the two barbarians, both of them had like the was it the path of
Storm or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even.
So wait, Josh, you do know that Nazir was thrown by his lower jaw, landed on a party member, and then him landing on the party member basically put them in the death saves?
I didn't. Was this party member Noah? Please tell me it was Noah.
No, it was Kindle.
Did not know this. No.
But Nazir is a fighter and a cleric, so I could have just spared the dying his character,
You
but
did
instead
not
I just
though.
got up and ran into the alley. That was so funny.
I do like Cody's like reaction. He's like, "Wait, he threw you by your lower jaw? Okay, I am deuces."
That
Yeah.
is kind of scary though. Like this man threw you by your lower jaw.
He was a big
Yes.
boy,
I-
8 feet.
I would like to say we went in there with a plan, and it was a good plan.
Did it fall apart?
It fell
Ooh.
apart because of Noah.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I will say,
Colin ruined that.
I will say to Noah's face, that plan fell apart all on him because we had Cody, we literally had everyone, and then I get it was a little bit with Kira as well because Kira wanted to talk to the monk.
So I still don't
Wait,
blame.
is that the one where Noah tried to do the hammer thing?
Yes. So
Oh.
I don't blame Kira at all because technically she was like talking and then succeeding in charisma checks. So
I
And-
only
and the
blame
idea-
her for being close and then getting hit.
well, I mean, yes and no, but that's still because okay, so to paint the scene, there's a tall Cholton and then there's a tall barbarian Goliath in the bathhouse as bodyguards.
Yes.
Did he go?
I don't know. I don't hear him either.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's weird.
We heard
so-
two barbarians in the bathhouse.
No. So there's a Cholton mage and a barbarian.
Okay.
That's like a bad joke.
Yeah, I mean, this situation was a bad joke. Again, as a DM, it's great, but for getting the job done. So to paint the picture, this Asian woman is just standing stoically outside of the bathhouse, looking around. Kira, who, as like RP goes, is an attractive, exotic looking woman. So she goes and starts talking to this woman who's just like ignoring her, but she passed her charisma check. So the woman is now just like kind of letting her guard down just to see what Kira has to say. So that's technically a diplomatic pass. Like that's a success.
Yes.
So Nazir throws a arrow at the roof to get.
I don't shoot the arrow. I
No,
throw
no,
it.
that's what you throw it. You
Yeah.
throw it to get the attention.
I needed
And
to make sure
then-
that was specified.
Yeah. And so then Noah takes the arrow and he was like going to at first just drop it on this monk's head, unprovoked. Again, the monk is being engaged with Kira. So in the ideas of using charisma checks and encounters, there is a world where Kira could have probably led the monk away from the building. So Kira technically was doing it right. When Damocles then goes, I put my arrow into Macabre and fire it down on this unsuspecting monk. Then it hits the monk.
That was the bad idea.
The monk was
wasn't
like,
First,
was that?
you're missing why I threw the arrow at Noah.
Just wait to get his attention.
No, he was about to use Macabre to smash through the wall.
Oh, so yes. So again, that doesn't fall on Kira. That falls on like.
I know,
Damocles.
but like he was like, I pull out Macabre, and so I'm just like, Macabre? He's like, yeah, I can use Macabre, because he's looking in like a window, and he
Yes.
sees him. He's gonna use the hammer because it does extra damage to the wall, and he's gonna smash through it. So I throw the arrow
Mhm.
to not alert people, but at him, and he just decides, I'm gonna take this arrow. I'm not gonna smash through the wall. I'm gonna try and do something cool for
And
no
fail
reason.
miserably, right?
So I mean, technically, it was cool to fire an arrow out of a hammer, but I was like the monk then looks up and sees this tiefling over the side of the building. There's an arrow in her shoulder, and then there's a female talking to her, who now makes her seem like it's a honeypot. So I was like, okay, roll a deception check. Again, if Kira rolled a high enough deception check, she was like, excuse me, ma'am, I gotta F someone up on the roof. But Kira failed, and she punched the crap out of her. And they found out, oh, she's a monk. Flurry of blows, and she sent Kira flying into the wall. And so then she's like, I'm now going up this building because she has vertical footwork, and I'm gonna deal with this tiefling. So, because of all this commotion, the Goliath has to go underneath the door frame and then see what's going on. At this time, Nazir has transformed himself into a bathhouse girl. So
I'm
again,
liking
you have
this.
to-
I'm liking this.
So again, you have to think of like, these guys are just bodyguards. They just, you know what I mean? Like they're the bodyguard mentalities. What is going on? We have to protect Suthrol because Suthrol is good in their eyes. He's done nothing wrong to them. So they're his bodyguards that they like. So this bodyguard's looking around. There's a girl, Kira, laying against the wall, like groaning. His teammate is nowhere to be seen. And this bathhouse girl was like, I need to get in there. So he puts his hand on her chest because he's like, no, I need to secure this perimeter. And so doing that, Nazir as the bathhouse girl was like, lightning breath. Now,
Because that's what you do.
so this Goliath is now like taken aback, but again, he doesn't take that much damage. So he shoves his fingers, all four of them, into this mouth, grabs it, and he passed his strength throw like phenomenally, and he throws the bathhouse girl onto the person who obviously is another problem. So he's using this bathhouse girl as a bludgeon, and which does kill Kira.
Yeah.
And so now he's like looking around for what is going.
Because Kip and Cody's character just went like, nah, we out, right?
So
Kip wasn't there. I don't.
Kip wasn't there at the time, so he was just basically babysitting Malos and Tirfer. So just chilling out at the back of the hotel. So, but seeing this, that's what caused Artorias to go, nah, man, I'm gone. Deuces. Because he got thrown by her lower jaw. It
Yeah.
was I would say it's one of my favorite sound bites in like the different audios because he goes, Cody goes, you got thrown by your lower jaw. That's the most metal thing.
But it's like after that, right? Nazir gets up and runs in the alleyway and gets on the rooftops and is shooting at the monk that's fighting Damocles.
Damocles knocks her off the roof.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm pretty sure for whatever reason they start to get up and leave because they pick Kira up. Now me and Damocles are still on the roof, and then they're just like, okay, we're gonna leave now. So they pick her up and they start walking away. And Noah looks at Nazir and just jumps down, like trying to have his last stand. And so Nazir like slides down with his swords, and then as soon as Damocles gets like a few good blows in, he gets taken out. He's turned into a chicken. At that moment, Nazir was like, "Nah, you good? I'm leaving."
Nazir's like, I got a kid and some stuff to do. I'm out.
Yeah.
So he
And
gets
then-
punched in the spine and he leaves.
I was punched like, what was it, once, or did I dodge all of them? Because I know I dodged them and then I turned around and inflicted wounds onto the monk.
Yeah, she only punched you once in the spine.
That was
But yes.
yeah, that was
So out of all the people,
Damocles.
I would say that Kira did nothing wrong. Kira is innocent in this situation.
Kira was innocent.
She attempted big brain, but
It was small brain.
Well, she did big brain, but big brain, she was tempting big brain, but small brain, big muscles had something else.
Yeah. He does that a lot for us too.
It's
I will
very
say, if Cody had stayed, there might have been a different outcome.
possibly.
At least for that one guy. Because if me and Cody both ran out there, then yeah, I don't know. And if Fior was there too, definitely
Yes.
a different outcome.
I feel like if it was the complete Justifier's Bold, different outcome.
That monk was Noah's like foil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah still talks about that. Like he's very salty about that.
Freaking, that's
So-
I like. Oh no, I always say that like, I mean, people, of course, people want something to be done with their D&D games and so forth, but in the ideas that I could get things like animated or even have it acted out, that interaction dealing with the monk, Kira, and Damocles would be an amazing scene in the concepts because the monk is talking Japanese, well, whichever the Forgotten Realms equivalent of Japanese. And so she's just like insulting them and just like ugh the whole time and just disgusted. And I think that's so wonderful.
That's
that
actually a good question I want to ask Jacob now. That being said, with what literally you just said, call it. If you could have one thing to be acted out on our campaign, Jacob, what would that be? And like why?
See, the thing is that you guys don't really have the memer of the group, which I see as Cody. It's a hard question because y'all don't make as many jokes that would be like super funny to be animated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, not even
Funny
like
thing
jokes.
is-
I would say like think about like
Yeah.
incidents because there's times where it's not really a joke. It's just
Oh, this
The
was
inc-
funny.
or just like the
I
encounters.
would do the session where Grogmar threw Whisper to try and get to the top of the cathedral.
That was good, yeah.
And then Whisper basically, like, Baxter was like, this is where the gods come to commune with, like, mortals. And Whisper was like, well, where is it? And it's one of those things where, like, if the god wants to talk to you, you can walk off the side of it and you can meet with them, like off the side of the bell tower, so basically standing in midair. But if they don't, you just fall. And so he just, like, he does, y'all do all this work, y'all did literal math. Literally, y'all looked up the tallest cathedral and did math to figure out how far you could throw him.
I remember
And then
that
he
'cause I
finally
was doing
gets
the
up there,
calculation.
and then he just walks off the side and falls.
That's so great.
I feel like there would be so much, like, there was so much hype and build up, and then it was just like, well, that happened.
Well, that's usually how math goes, you know.
Y'all were like going Dr. Stone.
Oh shit. That should have then worked 1 billion times better.
But
It's pretty good.
as far as a fight goes, I don't think there's a fight. I don't think anything spectacular has happened yet in a fight. Like, super spectacular. But I will say, there are moments with y'all dealing with, like, the vampires. No matter whatever vampire it is, y'all, it's always funny to me how y'all interact with him.
Really?
Yeah, because there was the vampire that collected, like, smaller magical items. And y'all, it was just funny to have y'all talk to him.
Oh yeah, because we all.
And then there
just
was the
wanted it.
vampire that lives under Eltergard.
Oh, and me and Noah.
Yeah, y'all are,
That one.
he's like, please stay for dinner. You guys are like, no, I'm good. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, because this dude he had very cannibalistic type of things, and then he was just he knew too much. Well,
That's fine.
I mean, he's still there. Go
I
talk to him.
don't doubt that. Don't doubt him.
But anyway, I don't think you answered what would be one thing you would look forward to in a part 2.
Yeah, I know. I did not because I got sidetracked. One thing I look forward to in a part 2, seeing Cody get beat up. That's something I'd love to look forward to.
Why? What did he do?
I mean, it's Cody. I would love to see him get beat up.
Alright, sure. True enough.
Gosh, it's so weird because our literally one session Avengers crossover turned into 3 sessions.
It was like 9 hours that felt like 1 hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Like, it makes no sense.
it was weird. It went by really fast. That's so odd. I think personally, I would like, because really it was, well, we quote unquote tried to break into your house. Brew wasn't for it, but I know Whisper was kinda. He was just really trying to figure out. Matt most definitely. God, Matt was doing everything wrong. Everything like RPG wise, like you're playing Fallout. Here are the dialogue choices, and it's like, here are the dialogue choices. Like it's like they're in red, and like you're going to get into battle if you choose this. Blah blah. Matt was picking those every single time. Oh my
If
gosh!
he didn't take the dagger back by teleporting, he was gonna lose that dagger.
I know he was. It was just every single time. It's like, all right, so here's the dialogue where you can make friends, or you can choose to initiate aggression. And Matt's like, aggression. That sounds nice. But so because of that, it was like aggression, and then Milos was kidnapped, so we had to rescue Milos. We never really got to personality-wise meet the other characters, so I think that's something I would really like to see is like more just like character interaction, between like the characters because like obviously I know Damocles, um, oh shoot, what's Cody's character's name? Artorias, um, oh snap, I'm sorry, Jacob. Nazir, there we go. Mine is going blank. Jesus. So obviously and Kira. So
Hmm.
obviously I know about those like personalities from learning from y'all and how y'all interact and whatnot. But I don't. Rue himself doesn't know who they
Yeah.
are.
Who do you think Rue would not like?
Who do I think
Like,
Rue would not like? That's a good question. I think I will say I think Rue would kind of like Nazir, but Nazir wouldn't like. I think that would be a thing, especially once Nazir learns that like my son basically hates me because, again, I was just like my character has a gambling addiction, so the biggest gamble was his life. He had a wife and kids, and he's like, this is obviously like the lifestyle I lead is not fit for them,
He
so I'm just going
probably
to
treat
leave
you
them.
as an acquaintance because he deals with criminals on a daily basis.
True. But I thought, since I left my kid, you'd be like, I would never do such a thing,
Do you not know how he first met Malos?
No,
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard that story.
Do you want to say it, Colin?
No, you can tell it.
Okay. So we were in a dragon graveyard, basically just a bunch of dead dragons and a bunch of kobolds. And the kobolds are like, "There's a dragon ghoul over there. If you can like get him to leave or whatever, we'll help you." And Nazir walked over with the intent to kill. Straight up just to murder this kid.
You walked over with the intent to kill Malos.
Yes.
Because remember, they're like saying that like calling him a dragon ghoul, and so he's like Miles at the time has his hair outrageously long and in his face, and Mouse's eyes have a tendency of glowing gold, so he just looks like this scruffy little Yu-Gi-Oh monster. And so when they finally, so then he was like, "I'll go over there," but then when they notice that it's a little boy, then they're like, "Oh," and they hate it, but they can't get rid of him. So there's like, "Yeah, if you catch the dragon ghoul, then whatever," and then so they're all like trying to scramble to get this little kid.
And then we get the kid to lead us to the Great Father, which is just a giant dragon, an ancient adult red dragon, or yeah, an ancient red dragon. I'm just like, "Hey, can I take this kid?"
He's like, yeah, sure.
He's like, "I don't care."
Okay.
He says he doesn't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanna point this out. He said like he didn't really care, right, Colin? That is what he said.
Yeah.
But he still has those red dragonborns interrogating me from time to time.
Yeah, different agents. So there'll be like red dragonborns or people who obviously are a part or worshippers of him. Yeah, will be
But-
spying.
If he doesn't care what happens to the kid,
Why is that a thing?
yeah.
Well, technically, no. Remember when you're just like, can we kill the kobolds? And he was just like, no, they're stupid, but they have a purpose. And then you're just like, hey, so what if we hurt the kid? And he's like, you better not. And then when you're just like, can I take the kid? He's like, I don't care. And when you're
You
like, hey,
can't
what's
hurt
his
him, but
name?
you can have him.
Yeah, it's like, what's his name? And he's like, he doesn't. I don't. He doesn't have a name.
So we named him after him.
Which is very
Oh,
funny because give a Bill Malos means the one that brings woe or the one that brings wicked in Draconic, in canon in this world. So Malus is basically wicked is Malus's name.
a great
Well,
So
musical.
I assume his last name is Thunderlight, so it's basically Wicked Lightning.
so he's from
That's
Boston.
so.
The wicked lightning.
um,
His name became the side of a van with epic art. It's wicked lightning.
um, I now know who I think my character wouldn't get along with, but unfortunately, he's no longer in your game.
Mm, mm.
I have a feeling those two personalities just wouldn't clash.
Oh, Fjord.
Yeah.
Hmm. So Fiora as a character he's quite diplomatic and pragmatic though. So Fiora's character is this where he does like to antagonize and provoke, but he was still kind of like the voice of reasoning.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah, he can also like strip people of their voices. So there was a time
Oh,
where this
never
became a
mind.
mime.
I would have. Never mind. I think I would have become best friends with you, or I totally would have got him to strip Whisper of his voice again.
No, not like that. Not literally.
I know, but
He turns Irish and he travels around with a mime from time to time.
that's I forgot the mime's name. Was the mime's name Dolly Parton?
No, that's Kira.
Well, see, I think Kira got called Jolie. I don't know.
It
Yeah,
wasn't that.
yeah.
It was some
I
weird name.
I'll look into it, but I think because Kira was like, "My name's Jolene," and then Noah goes, "Oh my God, please don't. Just use your regular voice." And so then I think like he called Nazir's character. No, Bartholomew. I think it's
That's it.
Bartholomew.
It could be.
Yeah.
I know it's not Dolly Parton because in the group chat, Kira's named Dolly Parton.
Yeah, but he does mention Dolly Parton or something weird within the situation. But yes.
so is Dolly Parton like canon in y'all's whatchamacallit?
So yes, unfortunately, but at the same time though, like so yes and no. So it's not Dolly Parton. So there's basically in my world a woman who looks and sounds a little bit like Dolly
Does she
Parton.
have a barred career like Dolly Parton?
Well, it's Kira who disguised self as this
Uh-huh.
buxom woman, but her name is Jolene. So technically, Dolly Parton doesn't exist in that concept. It was
So
a weird session, a very funny session, but a weird session.
so instead of like the song Jolene, it's just Dolly, Dolly.
Maybe like in an alternate world, maybe that's what it is. It's like what's it called? BioShock Infinite, where they're
Mhm.
tapping to the future and pulling songs back to do stuff. World. I don't know, but saying like it was a very like Kindle time to shine like like session, which is very funny.
I'm just saying, like we suck at RPing. Like I want us to do more RPing, but we're just so bad.
This is so
Noah's
bad
good
at
at
it.
it.
Yeah.
Noah's
mean-
good at it. He stays in it. I literally forced Noah to stay in RP ever since that one session where he started speaking in a Scottish accent.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Um,
it was funny because I don't think that I knew he had I think Noah said like alluded to his accent, but then when I finally got to hear it in person, I'm like, oh, Wasn't expecting it, kind of thing.
Trey
Trade's good.
is
I'd say.
he's good, but he's silent like Gion.
Yeah.
Like Grakmar's silent until spoken to.
Mhm.
That's just a Trey aspect.
A trait.
Yeah. And then Josh could work on it a little bit more.
Yeah. No, almost
There are
definitely.
some points, Josh, that I will say I don't know if it's you saying it or Rue, because sometimes it just seems like it's you. And
I
then
feel it.
Matthew is good. He just wants to do like combat, I feel, honestly.
Ah,
But he's worked on it because he's got a whole like bakery planned out. So
That bakery threw me for the loop. That is a thing I am quite excited to see what develops from.
yes.
yes, I will
wanna-
say this. I would like another crossover session to happen. I would say relatively soon to celebrate the new game room.
I'd
But that's
agree
up
with
to
that.
you, Khaled.
I mean, I'm always down for the crossover, but when is that usually? Because we wanted to, well, we granted we just didn't, we weren't able to do like the overnight thing like we did before. Usually it's around October for like Cody's birthday and so forth. So when was the crossover game? Was it in the spring or
It
summer?
was a few days before my birthday,
When's your birthday?
August 17th.
I knew it was August. I should have said it.
That's quite a while away.
Yes, but I had also asked Khaled if we could do it like one in the early part of the year, one the later part of the year.
Yes.
That is what I'm getting to. Let's see. Would it still be even? 4. I guess it would still be even. Unless Kira came back, Kindle.
Yeah, so it's 4-4 and then 2-2. Like because there's 2 players. I have 2 characters. Yep, it'd still be even. Which is a really weird how does that work, but yeah, it should still be even.
Well,
It's that time.
what time is it?
Say what we've been watching, reading, and playing.
You forgot listening to.
Oh, I'm listening to. How dare I?
Yes, so 11:33 right now, is that?
Yeah.
Yep. So what we usually do is a segment that is what are you watching, reading, playing, listening to. Or well, technically it's watching, playing, reading, listening to, but the same just still applies. So, as a guest, what's it going for you? What are you doing in these subjects? Joshua.
Listening to, not much different from what I've said last time. Still a lot of just like classic rock and stuff. Let me just look through my Spotify to see if there's anything that pops out that like I've been on a binge of. I don't think so. No, it's not. So mainly just Led Zeppelin, Van Halen. I will say there's this like little funk band I like called the Jeb Bush Orchestra. They're an apolitical band, so it's nothing to do with Jeb Bush.
Just his name.
Yeah, just his name, and like they're pretty good. I like them. I like the name too. The name's real funny. Oh, that is one thing. I got into like a little bluegrass dude named Billy Strings. He's a really good guitar player. Like I thoroughly enjoy like listening to them play and stuff.
Cool.
Playing obviously, whatchamacallit, House Flipper.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also me and Jacob been playing Apex again because like I was like looking and I told him yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm like, yo, there's a new season out. There's a new character. He goes, what? I was like, yeah, we should play it again. Turns out there's a new map too. Really like the map. I'll let Jacob describe more of that because I think he describes it really well. Um, but yeah, that's fun. But of course, we suck because we haven't played it in a long time.
Do you
And
want
one
me
thing,
to? Okay, tell me when you
oh
want me
yeah,
to describe it, and I'll do it.
yeah. The one the thing that I'm really waiting for is actually I learned today there's this mod that I've been waiting for years upon called the Frontier. It's a Fallout New Vegas mod where you go into Portland, Oregon, and like there's apparently like vehicles you can drive and a bunch of other stuff, and that comes out tomorrow, like early tomorrow. So I'm excited to like download that and play it because it's completely free if you own a legal copy of Fallout New Vegas. Reading, I am just reading a bunch of manga. One Piece, when it releases, I finally caught up all the way. The big thing I'm reading right now is Black Clover. I remember when I first watched the anime, I'm like, this is a good, like, I like this. And then I watched it all the way to the end of the demon arc, the elf revival arc, I guess you can say. And then I just stopped because they were waiting for the manga to go along because they caught up to the manga. And then I finally was like, you know what, I'm going to read the manga now. Really enjoy it. Anime, there's a bunch. ReZero came out. There's just a bunch of new stuff. The new Attack on Titan. Well, a bunch of new old stuff. New season of all things.
Okay.
Attack on Titan. ReZero. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. Dr. Stone. What is there? There's something else that are really. Oh, a new season of Log Horizon. I may mention that earlier. That's supposed to come out this year too. But yeah, that's about it. And without further ado, I'll let Jacob describe the Apex map.
Okay, so the new character that came out is basically a person that can use like black holes. So one of the tactics you would use with her is, and when she pops her ult, you just chuck a bunch of grenades into it, because all it does is it brings all of the other players into the black hole, and so all these grenades are just going to go off on them. Well, the map matches her aesthetic, as it's a giant map, like a space station, you could say. Okay, let's put it like this. Imagine Kami's Lookout from Dragon Ball Z if it wasn't held up by a pole and it was held up by balloons.
Oh, okay.
So like giant, like, weather balloons are holding it up, and it's really cool. There's like all these scientific stuff. They've added cars. They're spread out. There's even like a weird black hole storm in one of the areas. Well, the best way to describe the landscape is imagine. Okay, have you done any 3D modeling?
I have not seen it done, and I had a buddy that would love to explain to me and nauseum
Okay.
about it.
Do you know all of the polygons? How like
Okay,
the more polygons you add, the smoother it gets, but the less you add, the more like sharp and blocky it is.
Yes, barrels of guns in video games are a perfect example of it.
Yes.
Yes.
So imagine old school Tomb Raider with how polygony she is.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then the map, literally, like the sections of grass are polygon panels.
It
Like
looks
it's
really
paneled
good.
out like
my-
polygons.
That's really cool.
So like not only is it obviously polygons, it's actually showing that it is. And you know that's why it looks like that, because most of the gun skins that came out this season are also polygons. To
And
sort
some
of
of
match
the some of the character skins too are like that as well.
but
They
yeah,
added a
so
car too.
yes. The car reminds me of a certain vehicle. I just can't remember. It's from some sort of show. I'll say it when I get to it. Yeah, let me look up the new map name. It's called Olympus. Which it's funny that it's called Olympus when I was literally rereading the Percy Jackson series the other day. But yeah, that's how I would describe it.
That seems pretty interesting.
So, Josh, is there anything that you want to talk about?
I thought you were gonna say what you've been, reading, listening to stuff. See how it is. Make me the only one. I'm just kidding.
Well, usually we record it for our guest. If the guest, they'll talk more about it. Wait.
Continue. Continue.
No, so have you seen the updates for Phasmophobia?
Jacob read them off to me, I'd say about 30 minutes before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Kind of gets me into another Phasmophobia binge, Jacob kind of wants to wait until some more stuff comes out.
Until he can summon a real actual demon. That's cool.
You know what? I would not put that past Jacob.
Jacob,
it sounds fun.
Jacob wants Phasmophobia to be the true experience. There's actual Latin you chant. You actually have a demon circle. You make Latin you chant, and there's a demon that you summon. That's what Jacob
there
wants.
to be something even more terrifying. So, say you're in a game, right? This would be terrifying. I know it would. So, say you're in the game, and instead of your character dying, it's based on the fact that when you're playing this game, you're using the in-game voice instead of the out-of-game. Discord, you're muted in Discord. The game takes your voice and records it. All of your responses. So then, instead of your character dying, your character gets possessed. And when you're talking, it'll play back one of the responses. If you ask it a question, it'll just it'll act as if you were talking. It'll just
Why are you the way that you are?
It would be amazing, and I feel like it'd be simpler than you think.
Because think about so Wendigos, and then there's an SCP that does that too, where they will emulate people's voices, right?
Yeah, Siren Head.
And Siren Head will do it too. So I would love that concept if the game is listening, right? And the algorithm picks up when you say someone's name. So even if it's hey Markiplier, hey PewDiePie, hey Jack Septiceye, so it picks up that that's a person's name. So it can do two things. It can either emulate the person's voice. You're walking around and then you hear them go, hey guys. And there's oh, the person's over here. And the person's but it plays off of just that person's audio. So your other friends can't hear the thing say it. So then you're I'm gonna turn this corner, and it's just in the walls.
Instead of emulating, because I feel like emulating would suck, honestly. In the beginning, when you start the game, before you can play it, it gives you prompts that you have to speak into the mic and say. So it's cat. It's say your version of hello. Like, how would you say hey to someone?
That would
Stuff
that
like
would be
that.
an easier way to implement something like that.
But see, I feel like if it's like emulating and picking up, it's going to do the thing where you know how webcams suck, and then webcams get good. Like just when they first came out.
Oh, I see
So,
what you're saying. Like it sucks at
so,
first, but as things start
yes.
to do, yeah.
So because think about like how clear professional streamers' mics are in comparison. Like yeah, granted, like Joe Schmo mics might suck, but just with people playing, getting excited about it, then the updates would make it so it's more picking up and so forth. So it's learning how to speak like people, which is a terrifying jaunt
Are we
into AI.
making an intelligent AI thing? Is
That
what
and so
would evolve into?
that's actually where I was saying that AI is probably going to like be born. Like I know there's like the myth of like Google has an AI because there's like that weird like giant computer sentience.
We cannot hear you again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Google heard what you were saying. They decided to shut you
Yeah.
up.
But yeah, so I feel like that concept where like someone's gonna be like, I'm gonna push making a video game as hard as I can. And so they're gonna just try their best, and then they're going to create a straight up AI, and they're just gonna like, holy crap, and they're just gonna build off of this, and then basically make a little learning system. Do I feel like it'll take over the world? No, because Apple, like user agreements and upgrades and so forth. I think
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
I was like, Ultron wouldn't exist because he would have to deal with a download and then just die. Like that. That's probably. I mean, that's.
Oh no, Megatron, you're out of date.
When I get you, like,
Oh, you're in
like-
a low signal area.
like, seriously. Like Skynet, we have decided that humanity is best suited being subjugated and is it? Oh, it's lagging. Right, the network it crossed the state line. Like yeah, no. Like I'm not really afraid of like AI and that concept, but I don't know. But yeah, what I would love like because I was talking about things like Phasmophobia's dynamic like microphone issues. Like this is way back in like the height of with PewDiePie, because these like a lot of the gamers like the Let's Players would scream and talk to the camera. So a game that causes them to be punished by what they do is funny in a way, and so. I don't
Well,
know.
Oh, no,
what's
most
also
def.
funny is apparently unless you were playing VR,
Mhm.
the game actually you did have to press the microphone button.
Yeah, we never knew
For the
that.
game
They
to hear
just
you.
fixed that.
Nah.
That was in the new update. Like if you didn't play with VR, the game wouldn't always be listening.
Because a game that I'm kind of conflicted about, but a game that I would like. What the lesser and greater keys of Solomon are, right?
Yes.
I do
So, King Solomon, he was really big into like demonology and so forth. Like he's the contributor to like subjugating jinn and making them have to give you wishes, kind of thing.
not. Oh,
Oh, he's gone. He died.
that is a secret he's not supposed to spill, apparently.
That's funny. Am I connected?
Yeah, you are.
So obviously, both Google's AI and the forces of darkness, or maybe light, don't want me to talk about certain subjects. But yeah, so with the keys of Solomon and like him ideas of like subjugating genies and making them give wishes. So in there, they give like a list of all the demons, their like ranks in hell, their titles, like their appearances, and then also like what they're known for. And then it's very interesting. It's a very interesting read because there's some demons of like this demon loves talking about science and art, and they're just really cordial. It's like this demon loves to have religious debates, but they like this demon loves to do astrology. This one gives you fortunes by talking to them, and they'll tell you the future. And this one will help you with like finance. Like,
This
all
one
these
just wants to have a nice coffee.
yeah. There's some who's just like they just want to taste human food, and then but there's one that stands out that's like this one is super dangerous. Do not cross the circle. It'll try everything in its power to either get you inside the circle or get out of the circle and murder you. Be careful. And it's like
That one
dang.
sounds the most fun.
It's just, but it's very funny. It's just like this one is super dangerous. Anyways, this one just wants to talk about horoscopes. Like,
This one's every white girl's best friend.
it smells like pumpkin spice and wears Uggs. Um, its feet are actual crocodiles. Like, they're just crocs in real life.
Oh my god.
But it'd be a very cool game where that's the concept where you're just kind of like trying to either figure out the demon or you're summoning demons for different like arcane rituals and occult situations and so forth. And it's just kind of like, are you sure you have the demon and what you're supposed to do? Yeah, sure. Wait a second.
So Josh,
They say, no.
just imagine walking into a room in Phasmophobia and you're alone, right? Everyone else is just in the car because nothing was happening when everyone was in there. You walk into a room you've been in before, and all of a sudden you hear an audio cue, and it's just, "Come, have a seat." And you look up, and there's now a table and 2 chairs.
I would just
And
turn
actually-
around and leave. I would turn
Well,
around
the
and
best thing
leave.
is, you would activate once you enter the room, and then the door
it's
would
like
close. And you
It's
couldn't
like a
open it.
hunt type of thing.
Yeah. So you have to go and sit down in the chair and have a conversation.
Hey there, bud. How's it going?
It's like, did you bring me my coffee?
Yeah. But it's like, but that's the interesting thing of like, if you, because like with sometimes with Phasmophobia, they're like, oh, this is a Oni because of these things, kind of thing.
Yes.
So that concept where you're just like, oh, we're summoning Guthoth, the demon of this, so we need like rosemary to protect ourselves, and the chalk made out of a cat skull, and then you look and it's like, oh wait, no, we're supposed to have rose water, chalk, and this. Oh god, this is the wrong one. Like, like oh no, we're not going to be protected. It's like dealing with that would be very interesting. I don't know. But yeah, the Lesser and Greater Keys of Solomon, definitely a cool read. One of my buddies wanted to use the book and summon a demon. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Well, he's like, messaged me one morning going, hey, in a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you about summoning a demon? Going in the woods and summoning a demon tonight? I'm like, 2. It's like, I don't know. It's fascinating that you're into it, but nah, man, I'm good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, would you like to summon the Princes of Darkness with me?
You see, here's the thing.
Jacob would say yes.
I would say yes for the experience.
For the memes, or
they'd be like, how did the end of the world come about for the experience?
you just gonna heal the low ones, I guess, like your lower.
How did the end of
denizens.
the world come about? Well, this demon said he just wanted to get out of the circle so he could have some coffee.
So what did you do? Oh, I let him out.
You
Is that
did
what's
what?
running amok? Well, he did drink coffee. He wasn't lying.
I'm gonna pull a Jesus Legion, but I'm gonna put it in a rabbit. So the funny thing about demons and their deals is that you can also trick them. Long story short, I got a bunny rabbit that got some demon in it. But why?
Well, why not?
Because like just
the rabbits joined.
just like earlier, it's like you go and like flashback. You see earlier I like tattoo the little rabbit with like sigils.
No.
And then-
It's totally like you have this. You're at a magic show and like the rabbit is like causing havoc, and you're like, so I'm wondering how. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
You wonder how he got here.
Just does that.
It's just
I
it's
couldn't
like
figure
that.
out how to pull a rabbit out of a hat. That's how we got here.
So I couldn't figure out how to pull a rabbit out of a hat. So I put a demon in a rabbit. Call it. Yeah, same. No.
Is
It's
that
like
why there's a legion of bunnies?
which would be phenomenal because again it's just like sigil this rabbit up and then the fur grows back so the demon doesn't know this is a sigiled rabbit. It's like, yeah, so upside, trapped a demon in a rabbit. Downside, it's one really mean rabbit. Just doing cartwheels and destroying cars. Like little like
It turns into
rabbit
ReZero
somersaults.
with all the
Oh yeah.
rabbits.
Oh no, that's horrible.
You put a demon into a hedgehog and it literally does like the little sonic spin. He's like, oh, that's how that happens. Pure
That
demon.
would be kind of cool.
It would be adorable and cool at the same time. It's like, Khaled, can you stop? Can you please exercise this demon and stop playing Green Hill Zone's theme? I
No.
can't help it. Can I do both? I want to do both.
Yeah, no, I would have said 8 as long as I get nuggets afterwards.
Will you give me nuggies? That's all right, deal.
Sounds like a party I'm willing to be a part of.
Could you give me nuggies? He gives you these giant furry maggots. These are called nuggies in hell. Fudge! That is not. You are a demon.
Well, when
That
in
is-
Paris.
When in Paris, eat the stinky cheese. When in Paris, regret. Oh.
What would be like, honestly.
Oof, I don't know. Would you eat a furry maggot
No.
if it tastes like cherry cheesecake?
Do I get a boon afterwards?
Nah, dog. You get to eat a giant hell maggot that tastes like
Chase
cherry
like cherry cheesecake. All right. Maybe.
You got me.
cheesecake.
The quote, the meme, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
What if it's not hot but just spicy cherry cheesecake? Delicious.
I'm down with that.
But it never ends. Everything you eat afterwards tastes like it.
Oh no, just those, because those are the nuggies. You have to, because it'd be kind of terrifying, because that's the torture. You get kind of like, man, those were disgusting, but I really want them again. That
I'm like that
dang
with
food.
things anyway, honestly.
Was that?
I'm like that with some food anyway. Ew, that was nasty. But I'm intrigued.
I want to taste it.
Oh,
I can't think of anything like I've had that was like nasty recently. It's like I would never put that back in my mouth. No, I don't know.
I had some food line chicken, and I was like, nope,
Ooh, wait, was it like their wings?
not their wings. It was like some boneless boneless like chicken
boneless.
bites, and it
Okay.
was not good. But then again, it
Cut-
was cold, and I put it in the microwave to heat it up. So like, it could be good fresh, but not good re-microwave.
So like obviously not a sponsor, but like Food Lion's like wings, their breaded wings, it's just like they go, you know how salty a wing is? Imagine the ocean. Here you go. And it's just like I get like a salt headache even thinking about them. It's probably just straight dehydration.
There,
And I don't there's like moments of masochism where I'm just like, let me try these again. Maybe they'll get good this time. No.
their tenders are like that too, but they're great.
No, the tenders are good. Their tenders are much better. And then their corn dog bites. Have you had their corn dog bites?
No,
I
I
have.
have not.
Oh my gosh, like those.
Are they real good?
Oh yes. And I was like, one thing that COVID has made me very sad is like their wing bar. Like if you like they have oh my
yeah.
gosh. I would always drive to Mebane, like going to work, and I'll stop there and just pile up on all the different types of wings and well, I can't eat them, but like the bacon tater kegs.
Ooh.
And just was like, those are cool, but I can't obviously eat them, but they got them there.
Buy them for your coworker.
Nah, Matt probably wouldn't eat them. Well, Matt would probably eat them. I don't know if the others would though. Mm. So, Josh, is there anything else you want to talk to us? Because right now it's 11:59.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Anything y'all are excited for in new future, whether it's like books, games, or like TV shows or movies?
Hmm. Um, TV
ReZero.
shows. ReZero. We get it. You love it. No. I'm watching WandaVision now,
How is that?
and it's entertaining. It's really well done. I'm a child of like the Nick at Night, and I used to watch like Dick Van Dyke and Bewitched, and like IG Regini, a lot of other things, and it feels like those kind of shows, which is very weird that as like a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, I would watch these old TV shows that are 100% like
George
unrelatable.
Lopez, man. Wake up
Was
late
it-
at night.
You're like George Lopez, yeah, but like the Dick Van Dyke Show taking place in like what 1960s. How does a kid relate to that? Like, Patty Duke, two twins, one from England, one from America, and I'm like this little black kid with like 6 going relatable. It's like I can relate to these two women. Like, it's, just watching this show, like she's gonna get in trouble again. But because of WandaVision, I'm excited for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness because they're gonna be connected.
That's going to be a new movie. I mean, that's going to be a movie that I'm looking forward to too, because that means like basically they can spin it in such a way that all the previous Spider-Man movies are canon at that point.
Mm-hmm.
For like shows, I want to see the end of season 2, part 2 of ReZero. Want to see Horimiya animated. I literally went back and read all of the manga again in the past 2 days. So, 2-3 days. Kind of excited to see the new Bravely Default game.
Oh, is there a new one?
Yeah, it's the second one, like an actual sequel. Because the other one, that was like the first one, and then there was another one. The other one wasn't actually a sequel.
Mm.
But this one is said to be the actual sequel to the first game. Then I'm not quite sure. I want to see more on the Skyrim game. The new one coming out.
That one.
New Elder Scrolls?
Yeah.
Has they released more information about it?
They released, like, I think wherever the Red Guards live, I think that's where it's going to be taking place.
Oh, Hammerfell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all the people's blades were curved.
Oh, they got curved swords.
Scimitars.
Oh my god.
Other than that, I'm excited to see the new Monster Hunter thingy.
The movie?
No, there's another video game.
Iceborne.
Oh.
No, it's not Iceborne. It's the Switch one. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I know that-
Monster Hunter Rise.
Rise. That's it. Yeah. Iceborne's the DLC for the current one.
The last DLC that they're making for World is what they claim. Are you gonna watch the movie?
No,
Oh,
maybe, I don't know.
I'm not.
I-
I've heard it starts off real slow, but like the ending's pretty nice.
But it's just like so isekais work in anime form as a show. I feel it might be
Mhm.
being anime elitist, but I feel like when they do that otherworld isekai, especially in Western movies, it's just an act of cowardice. So I would have loved Monster Hunter to be, and not completely, but Monster Hunter should have felt more like not Harry Potter. And it's very funny because in the trailer they mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy. but it should have been more like Guardians of the Galaxy in a way where this is the world and you're following this one character as they get to becoming a monster hunter. Like,
Mhm.
like even call me crazy, I wouldn't have mind Tom Holland's and then someone else being little upstart monster hunters trying to be better. I think that would have been a phenomenal movie. Tom Holland trying to swing a giant axe or a giant like great sword and then going to the double blades or shields trying to figure out what his perfect monster hunting weapon is.
Does he want to be anime or what?
Yeah. So I think that would have been a better thing where it's just kind of like because like Mad Max Fury Road is a great example of the people exist in the world and you as the audience member are being taken on a ride.
Mhm.
So they do have some like exposition because some things are new to them, but other things are like, oh, that's just life kind of thing. And I think that would have been a better thing versus just again, we're from another world and oh my god, it's like no, just throw the audience into the world and then let them become. And it's just like this weird hold hands things. Like Lord of the Rings doesn't hold your hand really.
You're just in Middle Earth.
Exactly, and I feel like that's how a Monster Hunter should be. A Monster Hunter movie should be like, you're in the fray, boy. You're gonna do it. It's like, because even think about that, where someone's like, because there's the good palicos, and then there's the felines, where the person's like, oh, hi, little kitty, and then they just mug you, because that's what they did in the first Monster Hunter. They straight mug you and then run away with your stuff. It's like, oh, okay. I learned my lesson. So, I don't know.
True.
It's probably going to look gorgeous because they have the budget, but it's just like, and then it's just like, hey, how can we make a movie where my wife, Mila Jovovich, can be
the star?
Can be the star and awesome, really cool, awesome. So it's like, okay, all right. So I don't know. So hopefully it does better and they stop and then they just remake the Monster Hunter world without any of the people. Tony Jaa can be in it still, but you know, I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That's my spiel on Monster Hunter.
I was telling Jacob there's like a new John Wick type movie coming out.
Yes, with what's his name? Odenkirk.
Yes.
Yes. Looks good.
It looks good. I'm curious to see, how it do.
I feel it's gonna be good. I hope they don't go like, I mean, everyone's gonna try to, because it's the same like producer, I think, of Wick. I don't know if it's in the same world yet, but there's a lot of like, here's your cold coins and currency kind of thing. But I would like it separate because John Wick 1, 2, and 3 were good, but you can tell the budget and the budget and the popularity was growing. Because
Yes.
John Wick 1 does not feel like John Wick 3. It was getting more and more bombastic and just like, okay, we get you, buddy. So I do like that close, intimate violence was wonderful, but I crave violence, but I don't know. So yeah, but I'm excited to see how he plays out because I do like him as an actor. We'll see.
Well, it is now 12:08, so I'm going to call it here.
Hi.
Josh, is there anything you would like to say before the very end?
Thanks for tuning in.
Okay. If you enjoyed the podcast, please hit the follow button. If you want to watch a past podcast, go to Oni Central on YouTube or the PiP Podcast on YouTube or Facebook. We live stream every Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. and every Friday or every other Friday, same time but with a guest. And every few days, if not at least once a day, there's a random stream on the channel. Could be games, could be something else. And yeah.